So that's going to be one of the songs on our EP that we're recording. That little solo snippet. To answer one of the questions you're going to ask us.
Anthony Aprilli and Tristan Grimm are two guys with a passion for music, who desired nothing more than to create music for the world to see. Eventually, they both put their lifelong dream into action and formed a group called 7onpump1, who have been both achieving goals and setting new ones with each milestone.
It kind of started with me. It used to be called Insushin, and it was me and a friend of mine that played drums, Matt, in high school. And that's when I decided I'm going to be in my own band. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Anthony Aprilli. What was the other part of that question?
Your position.
Oh yeah, so I play guitar, I sing songs, and I write songs with Tristan.
Yeah, we switch between, how it usually goes is, if I'm singing a song, Anthony usually does lead. And if Anthony's singing a song, I usually do lead, but we sometimes take our own solos. In 6th grade, we were in the same homeroom. So yeah, the first day of middle school, I remember, sometime in middle school, I remember Anthony brought the Pick of Destiny from...
Dude. Let me tell you a little bit about Tristan. Tristan brings a lot to the table. Tristan's a good songwriter. Tristan's got a nice tenor range male singing voice. He's got guitar chops, and he's got a really good ear. In fact, what I didn't answer in the earlier question, which I should have, was that Tristan and another friend of mine at the time are actually two of the ones that really inspired me to start playing, because I had friends close in my circle that were, playing music, and I was like, well, I gotta fit in, Green Day, Guitar Hero is not enough. So, I started playing guitar more. We started learning Green Day covers together. Yeah. So Tristan actually has played a huge role in getting me into playing music.
Me and Anthony, we've been playing gigs since last year. So, yeah, me, Anthony, and John, we're trying to get more gigs. We're trying to record an EP right now.
Other than just playing, I book a lot of the gigs. I order the shirts. I make all the phone calls, and John's been doing a lot. John's cool.
I'm John Herring. I play the drums in 7onpump1. Last summer, I joined. They were gonna hire me to play on an album that they were recording. We met at this one show. I heard the two of them play. I think it was Afterglow. I remember specifically. The harmonies were just unreal. So I fell in love with it. And I was like, these guys are ridiculous. And a buddy of mine, Jeremy, was actually recording and mixing our entire EP. Amazing engineer. He met them through the first show that was at this venue, and then he told me about them for the second, and that's how we kind of got together.
Me and Tristan were on a very long quest to find a drummer and a bassist. We would meet up and do our duo acoustic thing. We're like, when we get a drummer and we get a bassist, it's gonna be crazy. We'll be a full rock band. Yeah. So when we're looking for people on Craigslist and at school and working. We did this it's not a barnyard, it was like a garage show. And it was a garage show.
It was called Back at the Barnyard.
It was called Back at Barnyard, but it was a garage show. Thanks, John. So we see this band playing, and they're pretty good. And then there was this other band that played, and they were also pretty good, and John was in both of them, and he was playing drums. And we're like, this guy's like, I hear he's 16. He's like freaking amazing. Like, he's really freaking good. We got to chatting a little bit, because he was really close friends with the sound guy who we became friends with at these little garage shows. We went to 2 of them. And then, we all just ended up kind of becoming friends. And then we asked John to fill in for bass.
And the first practice I showed up, they originally wanted me to fill in for live bass. Nothing to do with the drums in the slightest, because they had a drummer.
And we found this guy at the college that I go to, and he's kind of a drummer. He like did orchestral stuff for band and whatnot, and he kind of played around on a kit. But he wasn't like filthy the way John is.
I wish Caleb was here. The bass makes the song so nice.
My name's Caleb Corey. I am the wide receiver and the bassist of 7onpump1. They're just one of the most tight bands that I've ever played with. I can work with them really well, and the workflow with them is like none other because they're just so... what's the word I'm looking for? They're just so to the point. Doubted myself a couple times just throughout my music career. Notably, I doubted myself before I went to Orange County Community College because I had no idea what I was doing as a musician at that time. I didn't really practice, I just sort of played, and that kept me, I'd say that hindered me a lot from being the musician that I am today.
There's always doubt, and most of the doubt is honestly yourself, because people say, oh, you suck, or, some people don't just not like you. Some people might be, jealous. Some people might, genuinely think that, like, you suck.
Like Anthony said, self-doubt is probably the hardest thing to overcome. You gotta take everybody's praise with a grain of salt.
You can't be a musician unless you doubt yourself. That's kind of just how it goes. There's always the thought in the back of your head, well, there's pretty much always someone better somewhere, so what am I doing?
I'm a quiet person by nature, as you can probably tell by this interview. I'm a little shy, but yeah, like coming out to sing and like your first couple gigs, it's always pretty nerve-wracking. So, and then I felt that way again, but like after years playing guitar, you really didn't feel nervous, or playing bass on the stage, but coming out to sing, it started to get nerve-wracking again, but now that's pretty much subsided.
I'd say the hardest part about the whole thing was trying to get everybody in the same room at once and to get everybody kind of like on the same agenda. And I used to not do that properly. I used to take a very like authoritarian approach because I was just like, let's all meet up, let's do this, let's all be available at this time, and life just doesn't work like that.
The drums are an extremely difficult instrument to move around, practice where you want them to, and being a drummer kind of sucks sometimes. You can't, Anthony knows, you can't really play at volume virtually ever because it's too damn loud. So it's kind of frustrating to, actually play the instrument. But as soon as you get going, it's really nice.
My main thing when I was trying to think of names, and again, I didn't think of this one, but when I was throwing ideas out, I just wanted a name that was like, you hear it and you think of certain songs. And now when you think of Green Day, it's like they have such a career behind them.
Oh, huge following.
So.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that one of these days you guys are going to get to that. And
Thank you.
If that's what you're aspiring to and that's what you're trying to do.
Make a full-length album eventually, and we want to go on a tour.
The ultimate long-term goal, I'd say, at least from like my perspective, is to just be able to do it as our primary, source of income.
So yeah,
primary,
booking agent, we'll get us
just
paid gigs. And
yeah, we want to be able to do it
Maybe
for our careers.
hopefully-
Just have it.
Hopefully a manager if we can't self-manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get our music like
Wanna leave
people
off it.
will hear it.
Just so we can keep going, and then while we're, while we have the ability and the means to just keep going and have this be what we do, like with our lives, then we could have more like in-depth albums, more in-depth songs. We could really get like really into it, so that we can make something that's like larger than life and it'll really hit people.
Tell us the songwriting process for 7 on
It's a
Pump
lot
1.
of yelling.
All right, so either one of them will have an idea to start with, and we could just kind of grow from there, and we'll all just kind of jam it out until we come up with something decent.
Right now it's not definite. I'm just kind of making stuff up as we play it. And there's like some improvisation, and even in the finished songs, there's just certain, like the solo on Driftwood, I kind of improv around on,
Or like maybe I'll just be playing a beat, or he'll just be playing a riff, and we'll end up just kind of playing off each other like right in the moment. Like he'll just start playing, and we'll all just kind of join in, and the song will grow from there. Progression that work really nice with the chorus. I couldn't tell you what they are.
So anime.
Other than that, that's how it would start.
Sometimes we come in with complete songs in mind.
That's true.
And we're
also,
like,
yeah.
John, you're playing exactly this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
it
it's demos.
depends.
Yeah.
It's situational.
We
I feel like.
usually come in with like an idea of what we want the whole song to be. Sometimes, if that's the case, if that's the song's written, and we tweak our own parts, and then we all kind of Quaker it out. We all
Normally
group
we'll
votes.
start out with like the structure. As soon as we get that done, we'll kind of nitpick from there. We'll figure, okay, well, if a solo is gonna go here, what kind of style do you want the solo to be? Are we gonna put harmonies here? We'll kind of just take it bit by bit and figure it out.
As Anthony mentioned before, they've been hard at work on their very first EP, which they've been working alongside Jeremy, their main go-to audio engineer at West Side Music, a small studio where musicians go to record albums and more.
Alright, let's do the whole thing.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I work at West Side Music in Cornwall, New York, and this is my full-time job.
And then what can you do after that? Okay, cool, let's do that.
Essentially what I'm doing today with Anthony and Tristan and John from 7onpump1 is taking sound from the analog domain and bringing it into Pro Tools digitally via all of the outboard equipment that you'll see around here.
How did you meet 7 on Pump 1?
I was doing live sound just to make a couple extra schmeckles. And I saw them play, and originally it was just Anthony and Tristan doing acoustic sets, and Anthony was using a cajon and a sample pad, like kick sample. What was it?
It was like a stomp box.
Stomp box, like sample stomp box. And I just fell in love with their music, and we started talking, and here we are, months later. So yeah.
How long does it usually take to record all these songs?
It depends on how frequent you're in the studio and how many hours you put in a day. But if you're going to do it, 8 hours a day, every single day, it could, take a month, for an album, and then you have the idea of, okay, mixing it and mastering it and, revisions and stuff like that, so it takes a while. It takes a long time.
It's clear by the members of 7 on Pump 1 that their devotion and determination to succeed, 7 on Pump 1 has a bright future for its
Don't do it for any reason other than like that's what you want to do.
Just keep on doing what you're doing, because if you like what you do, then somebody else is bound to like what you do as well.
I was looking at the crowd while we were playing, and I would notice whenever I was really feeling a fill, and I played something just that was filthy, I noticed people who weren't like who were just kind of standing still would start to nod their heads. And I saw that while I was playing, and I was like, I did that.
That she